Between the hustle and bustle of daily life, coupled with our rigorous routines and everyday responsibilities, as a society, we're increasingly contending with body pain. Whether it's stress-induced headaches at work or body aches that stem from a sedentary lifestyle and lack of exercise. Which leads to the question, how critical is it that we proactively address pain rather than simply endure it in silence? And is it high time we relook and reshape our approach to pain management? Well, to shed more light on the subject, I'm joined by a highly distinguished panel of domain experts. With that, I welcome you to our special feature, Sirf Ek Saridon Head and Body, Redefining Pain Relief, partnered by Times Now. Allow me to introduce our guests. We have with us Country Head of Bayer Consumer Health India, Sandeep Verma. Senior Consultant of Health at NITI Aayog, Dr. K. Madan Gopal. Holistic Health Guru and Spiritual Coach, Dr. Mehta. And Celebrity Fitness Instructor, Yasmin Karachiwala. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us in studio to tackle this critical topic. And for sake of some context setting, Dr. Gopal, if I could kick off the conversation with you. So in a society where sweeping pain under the rug or simply living with pain is considered to almost be a sign of strength, how do we even begin to break the taboos that surround addressing pain, openly discussing pain, and embracing more proactive approaches to pain management, sir?
Having worked at different levels of institutions, right from a primary health center, district hospital, medical college, and NITI Aayog, now with the Ministry of Health, I've encountered this kind of pain things tremendously. In fact, when we were designing the packages for PMJ, Ayushman Bharat PMJ program, at that time also we have factored that people would be having pain and we should be having packages which can treat pain. The 60 crore population who are in the socio-economic deprivation criteria. But essentially at the government level also, we are very conscious of the fact that the people should be leading a pain-free life. That's why these pain packages are there. Apart from that, if you look at the way the society looks at the pain is usually equated with endurance and resilience. It's a kind of myth. So that's why I say that the society needs to be aware. It's not the cause of endurance. It's not a sense of resilience. It's that we should understand the pain and try to find out the cause of pain and get rid of that.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Gopal, for setting that context and building on some of your observations. I want to come to you now, Yasmin, because pain typically ranges from chronic to acute, and it can manifest itself in the form of fear, frustration, anger, anxiety, depression, not to mention all the physical toll it takes on the body, right? So I'd love your take on the tried and tested approaches to pain management that, in your view, have proven to be particularly effective.
What I find is we need to figure out what kind of pain we have. In my experience, it can be, like you said, it can be like just a pain or it can be a chronic pain. And we've always grown up hearing bear the pain. But I think it's very important to make a distinction between bearable pain and unbearable pain. As you grow older and wiser, the productivity, like Doctor said, decreases when you have pain and you want to be productive all the time.
I think that makes for a wonderful segue into my next question, which is to you, Mickey. And unfortunately, many subscribe to the philosophy that pain will ultimately dissipate. It will eventually disappear. Right? Or bearing the pain is perhaps a test of one's personal endurance. So given your experience, in 4 decades in this field as a holistic health guru, what is your comment on essentially the long-term health implications of ignoring pain?
Of course, we always say what can't be cured has to be endured, but what can be cured shouldn't be endured.
Sure.
So whether it's pain coming from physicality, mentally, emotionally, or human beings around us, we need to fix that pain. Swikriti is very important. So if you see the Darshan Shastra of Vedic science, that acceptance of the pain, don't fight it.
Right.
And take responsibility. Too much of pleasure will bring some pain.
Sure.
So obviously, Swikriti, accept responsibility. And once you take responsibility, you will see solutions. And if there are solutions available in terms of medicinal relief, fine. In terms of meditational relief, fine. Breathing out relief, fine. Resting relief, fine. But pain management of some sort of the other should be done intelligently. Very important.
I think that's very heartening to hear. And you've certainly, put it very beautifully. Sandeep, clearly, we live in the information age. but it's also the era of misinformation. So give me some context around some of the leading myths and misconceptions that typically surround taking pain medication.
We've just grown up believing that soldiering through pain,
Right.
okay, is a sign of strength. We will work through pain, we will attend weddings through pain, we will attend family gatherings through pain.
Right.
Okay, because we've just grown up believing that that's the sign of resilience, that's the sign of strength. So that is the first biggest myth, or the first and the biggest myth, which is that acting on pain is seen as a sign of weakness by most of the Indians, especially the younger Indians as such. The third thing about pain medications which people believe is that they are unsafe. So that's another myth. And the fourth one, and the fourth point also is that a lot of people think that pain medications may not be affordable or not accessible. And again, that's not true at all. So because it's available, every single chemist shop in this country possibly will have a Saridon right next to you. So I think if you want to act on pain, these myths can be very easily busted. But these would be the top 4 myths associated with pain medications in India.
No, thank you for setting that context. And, Mr. Gopal, I'll come to you based on some of Mr. Verma's observations. Do you believe that the corporate world needs to be more sensitive to and harness the power of pain relief? Because presumably doing so would only lead to an uptick in productivity and employee performance, sir.
During the COVID time, we have seen that if pain is there, chest pain is there, they will say that it is nothing. I can work, I can contribute. That kind of attitude as well as intent is there. As a result, we tend to hide our pain. The employees, they should be having such programs so that they can come forward and say that they're having pain. And beside that, if we want to do anything, first we have to see that what kind of conducive environment we are giving. But if you go to the factories and other places, so a lot of things are yet to be done. A lot of work has to happen in the occupational health, particularly related to corporate. But nevertheless, a good beginning has happened, and some of the corporates, they have come forward and they are trying to see that how a pain-free environment is given, right from the ergometric chairs as well as wellness program, and having retreat and giving special leaves in case of pain and suffering. These kind of things. That means a beginning has happened, and a lot of things have to evolve as our understanding about the pain and suffering improves and matures, and we will be seeing more of these kind of initiatives and the happenings in the corporate as well as in the government settings.
Yasmin, coming to you now. I'd love your comment on the extent to which alternative therapies, be it Pilates, be it meditation, can help contribute towards creating a more holistic approach to pain management, particularly when applied in conjunction with taking medication.
Pilates is known to help people in pain, of course, with the right medication, because we don't call ourselves doctors. We call ourselves people who can help you manage pain better. So we do have Pilates works on your spine. So all your cervical pain, your headaches, your back pain, we help you manage it better. We have a lot of people who come post-surgery for rehab for Pilates. We have a lot of people who prep for surgery by doing Pilates because it helps your body get stronger. So what we basically do in Pilates is we work on your spine, we work on the breath. Oxygenating yourself always helps you with pain management, the holistic way.
Sure.
And with the exercises that are in Pilates, which help you manage whether it's a cervical pain, shoulder pain, neck pain, back pain, we make your core stronger, and your core consists of the innermost abdominal muscle, your innermost spinal muscle, your diaphragm, and your pelvic floor.
Sure.
And that is your powerhouse. So when you work from your powerhouse out, you're better able to manage pain holistically. And through a lot of exercises, Joseph Pilates, who created Pilates, had a saying, you are as young as your spine is flexible. Yes, there is holistic approach to pain management, but it's like I said earlier, it's the severity of the pain that you need to decide. You cannot come to a Pilates class or a yoga class with chronic pain.
Sure.
You first need to deal with your chronic pain and then come to become stronger. But like when people have injuries or they're in a lot of pain, we always tell them, manage the pain and then come back for rehab.
It's time for a short break, but our special feature, Sirf Ek Saridon Head and Body, Redefining Pain Relief, partnered by Times Now, continues on the other side. We'll be right back. think Bayer as a brand has always been at the forefront of empowering the transformation of everyday health. But India is a developing country. And here, self-care, which of course extends to include pain relief, is often viewed as a luxury as opposed to a necessity. So how do we even begin to orchestrate a mindset shift when it comes to pain relief?
Well, that's literally the million-rupee question. Let me give you some facts over here.
Please.
A majority of the people in this country do not have any health insurance. We have one doctor for probably 1,500 to 2,000
Right.
people. We are amongst the most hardworking nations in this world, and this is a documented fact. We work the maximum number of hours, okay? And then there are calls these days to increase those number of hours even more. And yet, we are also amongst the least productive nations in the world. Why? Because a productive days goes down. We keep ignoring these small little health niggles. We keep ignoring these body aches, these headaches, these minor health niggles as we call them, and we keep working through them. So what is self-care? Self-care is just being kind to yourself. That's all that self-care is all about. Be kind to yourself, right? And in this country, hence, self-care cannot be a luxury. It is an absolute and 100% necessity. Our median age of this country is 30 or close to 30, which is a fantastic thing. Now we've got to harness this energy of these many people who are there in this country. And that can only happen if a productivity goes up, and that's where self-care comes into the picture once again. So specifically for us at Bayer Consumer Health and as the leading headache brand of this country, Saridon, we are doing two things specifically in the area of pain management. First thing is that we are trying to encourage conversations around pain management.
Sure.
As everyone was saying, people trying to hide pain. So through our hashtag Don't Hide Pain initiative, we are encouraging conversations. You would definitely want to talk about your pain with your colleagues, with your friends. Just do not hide. Get solutions for that. So by doing that, we are trying to destigmatize the whole angle of pain management,
Right.
and trying to tell people that this is the right thing to do. So that's the first thing we are doing. And the second thing we are doing is that we are providing versatile pain care solutions, where what we are saying is that you take care of your headache and all your body aches. So we are making it less cumbersome for people to act on the pain as well. So we are trying to literally put the money where our mouth is by acting on these two things regarding self-care and pain management.
So in this country, affordability, accessibility, awareness are just some of the many factors that influence our understanding of pain management and our approach to pain management. But Dr. Gopal, coming to you, I'd love your take on how we bridge that urban-rural divide that seems to exist in this country around pain relief.
This is a very interesting question. What has happened, having practiced at the rural areas, because still around 65% population is rural. And we do have a network of public health institutions, though the presence of the private sector is limited, but the indigenous practitioners are more in the rural areas. That's another aspect.
Sure.
But if you look at the OPD attendance in most of the rural settings, then it's more or less fibromyalgia cases are there. That means they come for myalgia as well as any sort of myalgia. But they have been provided some pain relief and other things. But yes, we agree that for the pain management, there exists a rural-urban divide, because a better pain management facilities are available in the urban areas, especially in the tier 1, tier 2 cities. But fortunately, one good thing has happened to improve the access to the specialty services during the COVID time, taking clue from there. So the government has started this e-Sanjeevani program. So e-Sanjeevani program has become a boon for this. I think if you look at the daily consultations which are happening, doctor-to-doctor consultations are happening, we do have a network of around 2 lakh health and wellness center, which are now rechristened as Ayushman Arogya Mandir. In that, doctor-to-doctor consultation happens. This acts as a spoke, and the hub is at the district hospital and the medical college. And the expert advice is being given and the referral linkages are happening. As we have seen that the internet penetration is improving, the mobile phone, the smartphone is increasing, and this kind of digital tools, that means e-Sanjeevani as well as the different apps, they are upcoming. They are increasing, getting penetrated. Apart from that, we are reaching the rural communities to the mobile medical units. We do have mobile medical units. We support it from the government India side and in the partnership with the state government, so that the people from the district level and the block level, they go to the villages and they provide service. Beside that, we do have an army of health volunteers at in all the villages who are known as Asha workers. And this is a battery of people, and we do have some programs for training these people, making awareness activities through them, so that people they come to the Ayushman Arogya Mandirs, get themselves screened in case of any treatment, any problem is there, pain is there, they can be connected to the e-Sanjeevani mechanism to the higher specialist, so that the pain and other things can be taken care. So to address the accessibility, the issues that is there. Besides, for the affordability part also, we do have an essential medicine list. And as per the essential medicine list, that medicines are to be available in all the institutions as per the required number of medicines are there. But essentially, advanced pain level management facilities are yet to percolate down to the rural area. That's a thing. I think it's a work in progress. As more and more hospitals, more and more specialties will come up, we do have a dream of having one medical college in all the districts. That means at the district level, you will be having advanced pain management facility. That kind of facilities are being made available. I think in the coming days, you will be seeing more advanced kind of pain management happening at the block level, below the block level also.
Well, Dr. Gopal, we certainly look forward to that. And by way of closing comments, I want to come to you now, Sandeep, because my understanding is that, bioconsumer health currently serves upwards of 50 million households nationwide, and you intend to cross the 100 million household figure by the year 2027. Ambitious plans ahead to permeate some of the country's most rural corridors, some of its most underserved communities. So how, as a company and as a brand, are you looking to bridge that pain relief gap, sir?
So the starting point of all revolutions is to make the population, make the consumer, the normal consumer, proactive decision makers. Okay, currently most of the people in India are reactive recipients of healthcare. Right. So you have a problem, then you go to the doctor. You have any issue, then you go to that person. So you don't take care of yourself. So self-care is really about this whole proactivity. Now, how do we make everyone, including person from the remotest corners of this country, a proactive decision maker? Is by a very simple model that we want to be following, and we call it we call this model the ask, know, and act model. And let me just explain it to you. It sounds very scientific. It's not. Ask is simply about getting people to ask the right questions. So in pain management, it's really about how do I win over this pain, okay? Sure. Or to convince them that look, the real strength lies in winning over pain, okay, not in bearing through pain as such. So getting people to ask the right questions. How do I have this headache, I have this persistent headache, or I have this persistent backache. How do I get over it? So that's a first step. And through a hashtag Don't Hide Pain initiative, we're getting people to ask the right questions. Then comes the second part of the model, which we call the know part. And this is where the knowledge part. So you've asked the question, now you need the knowledge for that. And this is where companies like us and brands like Saridon come into the picture, which is where we need to give them the right kind of information. Now, in this country, we've always heard the statistics that we have 600 million smartphones or 60 crore smartphones in this country. Most of these smartphones are not in rural India. Most of these smartphones are not with the underserved community. The more interesting statistic is that there are also 400 feature phones in this country, which are non-smartphones. What we are trying to do, what we piloted about a couple of years back, is to use AI to actually convert these feature phones, not smartphones, these feature phones into an absolute knowledge tool for the consumer. So what we've done is that we've given them a number to dial. They dial the number through this phone on pain management. Then they have 4 options on pain management. Do you want to take a medicine? Do you want to listen to some joke? Do you want to listen to some financial advice, etc.? So we are providing knowledge to the underserved communities by converting their feature phone into almost like a medical device as such. So that's the whole knowledge part. And then comes the act part. You may have asked the right question. We may have given you the right knowledge. Now, what makes you go out there and buy the medicine? Right. That's where affordability and accessibility comes into the picture. So your product has to be affordable and your product has to be accessible, most importantly. So by driving a distribution, so we'll become more accessible, and through versatile solutions, we'll provide solutions which are made in India, made for India, and they take care of every pain that this population has from head to body. So providing them with versatile solutions. Now, this is how you get them to take that last step of acting on it. So this is a very simple ask, know, and act model that we intend to follow in the next 3 years.
Phenomenal. And I believe that that makes for a wonderful note upon which to close. Thank you once again for
Thank
sharing
you.
such a rich range of insights. I think a long road perhaps lies ahead in the context of conquering pain relief. But conversations like this certainly make for a critical first step. Sandeep, Miki, Yasmin, and Dr. Gopal, thank you once again. We wish you all the continued success. Well, that brings our special feature, Sirf Ek Saridon Head and Body Redefining Pain Relief, partnered by Times Now, to a close. I'm Pooja Jain signing off. Thanks for watching.